Hello, welcome to Crypto News today, June 10th. 2026. And the top crypto news is as follows. For us to start today's episode from Europe, and we'll go to one of the architects of MiCA, who essentially says that the European Union should focus on a broader framework of digital assets that covers real world assets and tokenization. Essentially, instead of regulating DeFi in this second version of MiCA that we're expecting, as the European Commission advisor says. So there are many voices, as you understand, in Europe that are targeting tokenization more than DeFi in this second form of MiCA that will come in the coming years. The main reason Crypto News believes is because in tokenization there is a lot of money, and according to the managing director of Securitize, which is the company that manages BlackRock's tokenized fund, he says that tokenization could unlock a crypto market of $5 to $3 billion. And as we've said before, many in the space say that by 2030, the entire traditional market will be on blockchain based on tokenization. So certainly there is a lot of money. Now from Europe, we'll go to America. And I want to tell you that over 200 crypto companies are pressuring the Senate to pass the Clarity Act. We're talking about a lobby in America called Stand with Crypto, and what you see in front of you is a signature with some of the 200 companies that, as you'll see, include many large exchanges and currencies that are pressuring in their own way for the Clarity legislation to pass, as it's more ideal for crypto, as you understand. Continuing from America and Europe, we'll go to our currencies, and we'll start today with Hedera. Specifically, Hashgraph Group and Merck have integrated the product identity verification technology of the German technology company with TrackTrace, a digital product passport platform based on Hedera. Businesses are seeking to comply with the European Union's new supply chain transparency and traceability requirements. Let's give a few more details now. There is European Union legislation that we'll see coming into force in the coming years. This legislation says that the end consumer should know where their product came from and where it has gone until it reaches their hands. For example, if you want to buy coffee from Colombia, you should know which farm this coffee left from, which laboratory it went to for processing, where it arrived in Europe, and then how it reached the supermarket. All of this must have traceability to be legal in the European Union. So, as you have already understood, blockchain is one of the best technologies to implement this European Union requirement, and Hedera already has some products that can support this. Continuing from Hedera, we'll go to Stellar, and we'll see what its moves are for quantum computers. More specifically, the Stellar Foundation presented an extensive three-phase roadmap for protecting the blockchain network from quantum computer threats. Stellar faces two separate threats: intruders who forge validator signatures to compromise the network's consensus mechanism, and the ability to extract private keys from public ones, allowing account takeover, which is a fairly common method, let's say. This plan will begin to be implemented throughout 2026 and will reach until 2027 to be completed from what we learn. From Stellar, we'll continue to Ethena, which achieved another partnership, and specifically Janus Henderson, an asset manager worth $480 billion, has taken a position in the governance token USDe through the blockchain company Ethena, and plans to use Ethena's USDe for cash management as part of a strategic partnership aimed at expanding institutional access to tokenized financial infrastructure. The company also committed to collaborate with Ethena on regulated investment vehicles, which they haven't explained to us what these will be, but they seem to want to expand their collaboration. Finishing with our currencies, we'll go to the crypto market, which stands at $61,000, and for another day we're holding at our support. And beyond the crypto market, let me tell you that traditional markets aren't very happy either, because 2 trillion have disappeared from traditional stocks, Nvidia, Google, while the general market is downward, with 1.88 trillion having disappeared from S&P 500, Nasdaq, gold, silver, Bitcoin, etc. Let's say now that what has happened is that in recent hours perhaps there could be an agreement perhaps, the US military reported that Iraqi forces shot down an Apache helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz. As a result, the US president says that America should respond to this, and it didn't take long as there is a third series of attacks against Iran, which is underway in recent hours, as senior American officials state to Israeli Channel 12. And below, I have some other sources showing some bombings taking place in Iran by US forces. So probably they won't reach an agreement very soon, which is why the markets reacted this way. Let me tell you about the US economy now. Let me tell you that today we expect the CPI year over year, and tomorrow we expect the PPI, so we can have more details about what's happening with the US economy. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, June 10th, 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.